I came from Kilgore, Texas, and went to Wellesley, Massachusetts.
I went to Lake Charles, Louisiana, and it was amazing, but also not at all what I was expecting.
We got to Boston, and the air was different. That may sound weird, but I remember that was the first thing. The air was different.
And it was kind of a completely different culture shock. Very conservative. People were a little bit different.
It really hit whenever I seen the, the first 13 colony references everywhere. I think that's when it actually hit me that, like, I was not at home anymore.
Southern hospitality was a lot different than I was expecting. I'd always thought that it would be something kind of false, but it wasn't. It was just people being really nice and like kind and wanting to talk to you.
There was just like so many things I hadn't done. Like we don't have like a dim sum place in Kilgore, so we like I had dim sum for the first time, and I had never been on a subway, so I'd been on a subway for the first time, and it was just so cool.
So we took the girls down to this cove where you can swim. And Deanna's like, well, I don't know how to swim. I've never been in the water. So my 15-year-old daughter had her in the water and taught her how to swim for the first time. It was amazing.
Talking to the people that I went on the trip with was really like the most eye-opening part.
I think him participating in AEP and then going on the exchange was a really eye-opening experience for him. And I do think it made him really rethink a lot of the ideas he had that he was so sure about.
They're used to having conversations with each other over the phone and the internet 24/7, but it's not as rich as a conversation face to face, maybe with someone who's never been on a beach before or on a tee or never flown.
It gave me the different point of view. It let me know that your environment affects deeply.
I think more than just, their race, class, or whatever, just the culture of their individual town and individual family structure also plays a huge role.
Seeing it firsthand, changes everything.
To this day, when I encounter something, I think, why? Well, what's your environment? Well, who raised you? What era were they born in? Where were they born?
It's interesting, the things that we take for granted, like what we eat and the friends we hang out with, when you take somebody out of that environment and they have to now experience everything on their own and new things, it's kind of a shock to the system.
Especially now we put up these artificial barriers based off of where we're from or how old you are or your political ideology.
We were all 17, 18-year-olds just trying to have a good time and show these other 17, 18-year-olds what our lives are about.
You get past, I think, years almost of initial friendship, and it just gets you to the core of what being friends with somebody is about.
Fast friends within 20 minutes, just a bunch of high schoolers who you would have thought went to the same high school for the past 4 years.
It normally would take longer than a week to form a friendship, but when you're spending a week all day, every day with somebody, I felt like I really got to connect and form meaningful relationships with all those people.
About 2 weeks after Ben left, we got this enormous box from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and it was from Ben's parents. And it had more food from Louisiana than you can possibly imagine.
One guy on my exchange from Denver, Colorado, who happened to be going to college in the same city as me, St. Paul, Minnesota, who I still hang out with pretty regularly.
First Friday of every month we call and we just recap all of the things that are happening in our lives.
I know at the end of the day, those are some people who have my back, and they know I have theirs as well.
We all grew close really quick. And honestly, I trust all these people with my life.
How many of you would trust everybody else in the group with their life? 1, 2, 3.
I think I would.
I think when I'm 45, it'll be something that I look on as a core memory of my youth experience.